Hey everybody, today I want to talk about arthritis, pain, and inflammation. Big topic. And one of great concern to me because I've always had shoulder problems with that, so I'm always looking for the right kind of combination of nutrients and nutraceuticals that will help with pain and inflammation, and is specifically good for arthritis and cartilage. So I'm going to tell you what I use and what I've come up with. And I want to start by saying that I wish there were better and more perfect science on every one of these supplements. I wish we could say we have a controlled randomized study saying that the people who took this supplement over 10 years had less pain and less arthritis, but we don't have those studies, and we will never have those studies. And we will never have those studies with combinations of nutrients. So what you need to understand about this is that whenever we recommend supplements, to some extent there's guesswork involved. To some extent, we're doing a connect the dots. We know that a particular molecule is highly anti-inflammatory, and it's anti-inflammatory in a test tube, and it's anti-inflammatory in monkeys, and it's anti-inflammatory in humans, and we assume, since inflammation is such a big part of every major degenerative disease, that taking this supplement is going to have a beneficial effect on the end product. So a lot of it, though, is guesswork. I'm going to give you my best guesses, the stuff that I use for arthritis, joint pain, and inflammation. So my first place where I start, my go-to supplement is MSM. MSM is a sulfur-containing molecule, and if you think about people who go to sulfur baths or mineral springs and those beautiful hot springs where it kind of smells like rotten eggs, well, that rotten egg smell is sulfur, and sulfur does a body good. It's great for the skeletal system, it's great for the joints, for the tendons, for the ligaments, and even for the skin. So I start with MSM. That's my go-to one. I like 5,000 milligrams a day, or 5 of these 1,000 milligram capsules. The second thing I go to is fish oil, and that is not necessarily in any order of importance. Fish oil might even be the most important of all the supplements. It's one of the most anti-inflammatory substances on the planet, and nobody gets enough of it. So if there's any pain and inflammation from joint or arthritis related issues, I recommend doubling up on your fish oil. I like the Barlean's brand. I don't know if this is out yet by the time you guys see this, but Dr. Rafalak just made this formula called Super Omega for Metabolic Mastery Club, and it is an elegant, amazing formula of not only omega-3s, but anti-inflammatory omega-7s and omega-9s. So one form or another, you need to get that fish oil and that omega-3 into your supplement program. The third thing that I use is a flavonoid known as quercetin. Now, quercetin is found in apples and onions, and it's a wonderful natural anti-inflammatory that's found in the plant kingdom. And I take it as a supplement, and that's part of my pain and inflammation joint protocol. Next, I added something called euconomia bark. Now, this is an obscure Chinese herb. Unless you're into Chinese herbal medicine, then it wouldn't be obscure. But to people like me, it was a fairly obscure herb. And this is one that I kind of did on faith. I talked to a lot of physical therapists in the LA area. They are big fans of this. We put it in our coffee every morning. And it has a long history in Chinese traditional medicine of being used as a tonic for the skeletal system. So it's very good for muscles and bones and joints, and for skeletal systems and general tonics. So I add that every day. And finally, CBD oil. Now, because of the uncertain legal status of medical marijuana and anything that comes from cannabis, CBD oil is a little controversial. We don't really know what the ultimate status is going to be legally. But right now, there is one made by Barlean's, which is actually only from hemp, which is legal, and it's pure CBD oil, and I'm very fond of this one, and it's available everywhere. It's going to be in Vitamin Shop and GNC. So until we sort out the legal status of CBD from cannabis, we know that CBD from hemp is legal and available, and I take this twice a day, and it's wonderful for pain and inflammation. Now, these are not the only supplements you can use. You may be wondering why I didn't mention glucosamine and chondroitin sulfate. Those are both terrific. I personally just alternate between MSM and a combination of glucosamine and chondroitin sulfate. Both are very good. They do a little bit different things, but they both work on the skeletal system, the joints, the cartilage, the tendons, the ligaments, and the connective tissue. So either of those would be great, MSM or glucosamine, chondroitin sulfate. And there's also curcumin, which I don't have here, but I recommend very highly. Curcumin is a tremendously anti-inflammatory compound. It comes from turmeric, the spice that makes Indian food yellow, and I recommend taking 1,000 milligrams of that every day in addition to your basic supplements. So Any of these will work, and they will work in different combinations, and they will work differently for different people. So basically what you have to do, as I've said every time that I've talked to you guys, is you've always got to experiment, use the AIM protocol that Jade came up with: A, assess; I, investigate; and M, modify. So you always want to be trying things and then seeing how they work for you, but this is a great place to start. So once again, fish oil or some high potency omega-3 formula, quercetin, MSM or chondroitin sulfate and glucosamine, eucalyptus bark oil, and CBD. It's a great place to start, and I'll bet you in some combination of these you will find a lot of relief for pain and inflammation from arthritis. This is Dr. Jonny from Metabolic Mastery Club.